I have 6 children. These people make $350,000 a year is what they claimed on the rental application. I'm going to lose health insurance tomorrow, and my house is going into a foreclosure period as of tomorrow is 90 days late. They've just been sitting in my house, sir.
This is incorrect.
Are there people still in the premises?
I don't know. I would have to text them. I don't know if they're on the premises.
A TikTok influencer is actually out here teaching people how to squat in someone else's home. Like, seriously? Judge Simpson is not having it, and things get heated fast in the courtroom. The entitlement is absolutely wild. Are squatters just gaming the system, or do they actually have a case? Let's dive in. This debate is about to get real.
Jared Lepick, unfortunately, was diagnosed with influenza A this morning, so he had his Zoom going and can mic in if need be, but he's got very little of a voice at this point.
Okay, all right. And yes, I do see him signed in. All right. Andrew Elliott or Traversia, is it Burrell?
Traversia Borelli.
Okay, sorry. All right. Okay, what are we doing on this case?
Last week, sir, you had asked that they be out of the house before the hearing today. And as of right now, they're still moving stuff out of the property. There are still people on property, including a couple of unauthorized additional roommates that weren't included in the lease. And we have yet to get in contact with Mr. Elliott. He is the named person on our lease. So we would just like to see what his status is. We haven't heard from him since the 7th. And the last thing we received from him in writing was an email admitting to the debt owed and the wrongdoing on his part, stating that he can provide the court of a copy with this email. In his own words, he states, "We will obviously not refute what you are owed. We have no intention to. We would honor the court decision of the debt, which would additionally include legal fees. Given our contract is under the laws of Michigan, there is very little that can be garnished as the bulk of my earnings are earned as independent contractor." In this email, he proposed a payment plan that we were uncomfortable with agreeing to because he offered us specific payment arrangements over the last.
Can I stop you, please?
Absolutely.
All right. How much are you claiming is owed?
So as of right now, he owes $15,000 plus court costs of $234.43. If I may, could I give you like 90 seconds of backstory, sir?
Not really.
Okay.
Your Honor,
I don't know that I'm necessarily going to need it.
Okay.
Ma'am, are you moving out?
Yes, we've returned the key. I have a couple of friends currently helping me move out the remaining things. I'm actually at the U-Haul Center right now, and they are getting the rest of the items out presently under the supervision of the land manager. Okay.
So, and ma'am, are you disputing the amount they're claiming is owed?
I am.
You are?
Yes, I am.
We owe. How much do you think you owe?
So we owe December and January. That's $10,000. We paid a $1,000 late fee in November and a $2,000 late fee in September and October. We believe that these should be subtracted from the total owed due to illegality of those fees. Also, we were subjected.
How much is monthly rent?
Your Honor, monthly rent is $5,000 a month. This is a 4,000 square foot house that we were under contract for them to purchase. And we have done a series of short-term leases as they were waiting on the city.
Okay, so here's the thing. Is she right about, she just listed off, I think, $4,000 of late fees that they paid?
No, sir, that is incorrect. Those were from the previous lease. See, at first we did a 60-day lease, and then we extended that once their house was not sold. So we have 2 prior leases to this short-term lease, and we only enforce late fees on one of the months under those leases, and I can submit documentation.
Judge Simpson has officially had enough. And honestly, who can blame him? The fact that people can straight up take over someone else's home without paying a dime is insane. Squatter laws are way too soft. Homeowners are trapped in legal nightmares while their properties get trashed, and squatters? Zero consequences. Am I being too harsh, or do they deserve jail time? Sound off in the comments.
that were never received to my account, sir, as well as proof of funds that I received in December and no payment was made out of that. The last communication I had about a payment arrangement was on December 13th, and I was informed by Mr. Elliott that day that his wife had sent an ACH. However,
Okay, look, folks. Oh, ma'am, here's what's going to happen. What date are you going to be out of the premises?
We're already out.
Your stuff
You're
is
already
still
out.
Right.
Your stuff,
And they have surrendered the keys?
Yes, and it's in the process of being removed as we speak. So we are out. It'll be another hour or two, I think, before it's all of our stuff is gone.
So then the only issue is what's owed.
Right. I also want to bring up, if I may, Your Honor, we were subjected to a wrongful lockout, so we are due 3 times damages of the $150 for a locksmith as outlined in Michigan's anti-lockout statute, totaling $450, which I also have evidence of.
Okay. All right,
Your Honor.
folks.
Your Honor, house because they failed to pay rent. I have 6 children. These people make $350,000 a year is what they claimed on the rental application. I'm going to lose health insurance tomorrow, and my house is going into a foreclosure period as of tomorrow is 90 days late. They have money. They had subletters or whoever living with them, and I don't know if they were running a homeless shelter, if they were pocketing the rent that their roommates paid. They've just been sitting in my house, sir.
This is incorrect.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. Possession has been granted. There are 2 parts to the case. Possession's been granted or surrendered to the plaintiff. So possession is not. Sorry. Pardon?
There are still people at the house. One of them had a residence established there, apparently. They're still at the house, and unfortunately, our property manager expired at noon today, as it is the last day of the month. So any clean out of anything left behind, I'm going to have to go assess for any damages left on my own next week.
All right. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. They've surrendered possession of the unit. Ma'am, to your knowledge, are there people in the premises?
Yes, there is.
Are there people still in the premises?
I don't know. I would have to text them. I don't know if they're on the premises presently, but we were told that we could get the remainder of the items out. So they would be doing that if they are not presently at the U-Haul Center where I am now. I'm just using my phone to do this.
Possession to the premises has been surrendered. Ma'am, as of, given everything that I'm hearing, your management contract expires, at midnight tonight? Is that the deal? Or
Yes. And we can't afford to pay a property manager anymore.
Hang on. I hear you. I'm just trying to, because you're in North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir. But I will have to make a trip up to North Carolina to assess anything.
I know. I guess you're out of state. You've got a property manager here that won't be the property manager tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So what? I should let you guys talk, and then I'll just go back and then come back out.
Exactly. The audacity of this squatter playing the victim is next level. You broke into someone's home, refused to pay rent, and now you're acting oppressed. Squatter rights were meant to protect tenants from unfair evictions, not give freeloaders a free pass to steal homes. And while I get why the homeowner is furious, interrupting the judge isn't the move. Courts care about facts, not feelings. What do you guys think? Should squatter rights even exist, or is it time to shut this loophole down for good? Sound off in the comments.
Authority, I'm going to grant to the plaintiff the authority to prevent waste under 4.201I, that you may lock and secure the premises effective 3:00 today. The reason I'm doing that is so that you can get your property manager, go over there. You can order a locksmith. You can change the locks at 3 p.m. today. Whatever else needs to get out, if you don't get it out by that time, you said you surrendered, you're giving them the keys, they giving you grace to get some of the stuff out. If it's not out, not out.
That's perfectly fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
Then the issue regarding the money is going to have to be done. Now, I might as well, because the parties don't seem to agree, set this matter for trial. You have to come up next week. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so trying to time this, if you come up, how long are you going to be up here?
Very short amount of time, sir, as I have children in North Carolina in school. So a day.
So if I I was just going to set this for a trial. So I can set a trial date, but I'm going to need the parties in person because apparently there's going to be a lot of documentation. So I'm trying to set it. So here's what I'll do. Because we're really talking about the money, but we got to get the premises secured first. So we've dealt with that. What's my date? March the 4th? 11th. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a non-jury trial as to the money issues for March 11th, 2025 at 9 a.m. That's in person. So I've tried to set that, ma'am, I tried to set it out far enough so that you could make arrangements or do what needs to be done to come up. We'll hear it that day. So if it has to be a one-day trip, it's a one-day trip. But I've just tried to put it out I think you get what I'm saying. Okay?
Absolutely.
But I'm allowing you to secure the premises. You're going to come up here, check on it. That way you can assess what damages or other things there may be there. Bring ledgers, all other documentation you want the court to look at on March 11th, and then we'll hear your case. Okay?
Ron, I'm ready to ask one question.
Sure.
Rather than pushing it out, I can make arrangements. I will make it work. Like I said, we're actually going into a 90-day foreclosure period tomorrow. And so time is kind of essence.
Got it. Then the best I could do is the 18th. What day? Yeah. The best I could then do is February 18th. I could push it up to that day. Will that be better for you?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So non-jury trial in this matter then will be set for February 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Okay.
One more question. Will Mr. Lepek have to appear as well, or will me be appearing sufficient just because he can't afford time off of work right now?
Well, he might want to have himself, if you're here, he may want to have himself. I will allow understanding childcare, work, those things. I would allow him to appear via Zoom.
Thank you. And as far as Mr.
So that he's present, but you will have to be here in person.
Understood. And Mr. Elliott?
He needs to appear. If he doesn't appear, then I do what I got to do.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
may I ask a question?
Sure.
My partner might not be able to get off work either, but I can show up. Is that a problem?
I will give you the same. Okay. I will give you the same opportunities that I give the other side in fairness. So you
100%. The fact that squatters can just waltz into someone's home and trap the owner in a months-long legal nightmare is insane. Michigan's squatter laws, a total joke minus 30 days in, and suddenly you need a full eviction process. Meanwhile, the squatter is probably kicking back, ordering DoorDash, and acting like they own the place. If you break into a car, you get arrested. But house, boom, tenant rights. Make it make sense. These laws need a rewrite. If you can't prove you belong there, you should be out same day. Simple as that. What do you think? Should squatters get the boot immediately, or do some protections make sense? Sound off in the comments.